Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Power to Pivot interview series on how to create positive change step by step to achieve your life, health and wealth goals. Today I will be interviewing Coach Rai Berga on the mindset that you need to succeed. I just wanted to dive into the topic of mindset in general, because when I think of mindset, I think of having sets of beliefs or ideas that just help you to get things done. So whether that's achieving your goals or whatever you're working on. And as a coach, I imagine you speak to people all the time about this type of issue. How would you define mindset?
I think you already very nicely kind of drifted into that, because it is, to me, mindset is the way of thinking, the way of being, how I operate as a person. So, and it is set of beliefs, set of assumptions about yourself, about other people, about the environment around you. And I like this comparing that to your phone or your computer, because on a phone you have an app and you can go into settings and you can make it do all sorts of things, notifications on or off, here or there. And with your mindset, it's the same. You kind of set yourself up to do something, and then you choose what are the settings that you're setting yourself up and how to operate. So that's how, yeah.
I like that analogy to an operating system, because you can also update it. So
yes, and that's exactly that.
Yeah, that's static. It's dynamic, and it's something that you can continue to inform and you can continue to update. So
yeah. And we just think that, if you have a mindset, then maybe that's for life or something like that. It's not. Yes, exactly. You can update it just like you can with a phone, or when you can do it with a computer when program runs out of an update and you have to do a reboot. And it is.
Oh, cool. So it's something that's definitely teachable, learnable, and coachable.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So what shifts did you feel like you had to make as you were moving into the coaching space? What shifts in your mindset did you have to make to become
And that's exactly what I did. I just rebooted my mindset.
Yeah.
It's kind of very nicely flowing in. But it was, for me, one of the first, I think the basic is to go from the fixed mindset of thinking, oh, this is how I live my life now and nothing can be different, to actually opening your eyes up and updating your mindset and updating your thoughts and beliefs and assumptions that no, actually, I am the one who is writing the story. I am my own actor, I'm my own editor, I'm my own director, and I can script that. I can put whatever system I want into my app. So that's definitely the first one, to go from fixed mindset to the growth mindset. Another one is to go, and which I found quite hard. I don't know if obviously other people who have been in employment and then moved into their own business as well, but to go from employee mindset to business mindset and to be my own boss.
What did that transition feel like for you?
Weird. It felt so weird, because obviously for so many years I was in a mindset that if I'm working in an office, and especially I have Monday to Friday I'm working, and then Saturday, Sunday I have days off, and to me that was what I was going for, because
you have a really structured routine.
Yes, and you know where you are, you know what you do, you know exactly steps, you know your KPIs, you know what you need to do. So you just kind of show up and do the job. And in the mindset that I used to have is that was what I was striving for. So and then when I changed my mindset, and then I had to be from employee to my own boss, it was weird. It was hard as well. It was unusual. And surprisingly uncomfortable, because it starts and finishes with myself, because I'm the coach and I need to make decisions now on everything. And although I enjoy that, and I enjoy autonomy and I enjoy the freedom, it's a lot when you don't really make those decisions, to completely making all of them. So it was definitely an adjustment, but that was the mindset shift that definitely needed to happen.
And how did you push through that discomfort that you mentioned?
It's with, again, working on the mindset that if I have chosen to do this, this is what I need to do. And it's just every day you're thinking, okay, and especially in the beginning, it was you learn something new every day, and you just have that growth mindset in you thinking, okay, what did I learn today? How can I use it? What can I improve? And you have to be in that willingness to learn type of attitude. So yeah, just doing it.
Yeah, just doing it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's challenging, and learning from everything.
Yeah, it's being uncomfortable and doing it anyways, because it was something that I decided I wanted to do. Yeah.
So what were you doing career-wise or professionally before you went out on your own and started coaching independently?
I was working for leading furniture company, and I was working in one of the teams, and I was a team lead. And I think that was also quite pivotal moment for me to decide to move away, because I was leading the team, and it wasn't a big team. It was, I think, 6 or 7 people.
So quite intimate,
Yeah, but I enjoyed that it was so small, and you could see how when the person joins and how they grow, and how to spot, which areas need the improvement for them, and then you put them through the training and things like that.
So you were already coaching on that job?
Yes, and even before that, I was in learning and development team, and that was even more coaching, coaching side. And before that, I did my CIPD in learning and development as a learning and development practitioner, and that's where I discovered the coaching and mentoring, because there was one of the modules in the course was exactly about coaching and mentoring. And I just remember I was so mesmerized and I was so interested by it. And it just, from then on,
captured your attention, made you got you interested.
From then on, it was just like, oh my days, it kind of gravitated back to me all the time. And then, it all fell into place for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a big jump, but it's great to hear like some of those indicators and the things that you became aware of that made you like build your confidence that this was the right move for you. I would love for you to tell me about some of the clients that you've worked with that you like, that going through this process of like development and coaching, you feel like you've really made a difference for.
Yeah, so although I don't have a preference, men or women, but what turned out is that I usually work with women who have decided that they want to take the ownership of their life, and they want to align their life with their values and the goals. So it might be, I like to divide it into kind of tangible and non-tangible things. So one of the tangible things, it was service-based businesses. So ladies who are in service-based businesses like coaches or therapists, and for them to either start their own business or take their business to the next level, because some of my clients, they were still in employment and also doing as a side business,
like side hustle type of.
Yes. And for them to move away from that. So those are the results that we were working towards. Income goals, obviously also quite measurable, financial goals, or visibility in the business, creating website, creating Instagram accounts. And then there is that non-tangible that is actually more exciting when clients are working on their confidence, on smashing their self-doubt and ditching the procrastination. And I think one of the things that I like the most is that feeling in sessions with the clients when they come up and they're like, oh my gosh, I did something that I was thinking for 2 or 3 years. And they're just like so happy and confident. And then it's a domino effect, because once they had the confidence to take that step, they have confidence to take another step and smash next goal and reach next desire. So.
Yeah, I love that, like positive feedback that that you've just mentioned, of like the achievement that you have in one area does build your confidence to achieve something, the next thing and the next thing. So that's exciting to see, I'm sure, with your clients. And I've had small similar experiences as I've like offered some test coaching sessions to a couple of people, and it's just been really exciting to like almost just see when they've had an aha moment, and you know, it's like, oh yeah, this is something I can actually do or change that can help me move forward towards.
Exactly. It's like when you work on one thing, you work on another thing. I had a coach that used to say that to us in the group coaching, and she usually said, when you work on one thing, you also work on the other things, because it has a knock-on effect. So if you work on your personal goals, you will show up as a different person, and you will show up more confidently, not only in your personal life, but also in your business or in your career, in your job, whatever thing that you are doing. So yeah, that's great.
Oh, that's exciting. And also just thinking back to the point you made earlier about like just having experiences in your job as a team lead that allowed you to recognize coaching was for you, because I felt like I had a similar experience yesterday. Actually, I was doing a hospital shift as a urology registrar. I was working quite closely with a trainee advanced care practitioner, or trainee ACP. So they're usually nurse trained and they're transitioning into like an advanced role. So because the on-call shift wasn't like too hectic or too busy, we were able to do quite a lot of like medical like kind of education and training experiences. So I was able to like supervise her and do some like teaching and coaching, that things that she could reflect on in her logbook, that also just like gives me as a person who is moving into the coaching space that like more increased confidence. And and like you can see that the person is benefiting from
exactly. And it kind of, it's you doing that for the other person, but it also makes you feel really good, because you're like, you can see that they are growing, or that, like you said, it's not only for that particular moment, but it stays with them. And so they take it further. And again, that has the domino effect of them impacting someone else's life. So when you're just helping that particular person with their logbook, it doesn't mean you're only helping one person. And I think that has I have even like goosebumps now talking about it. It's just, it's amazing. It's that service, isn't it?
It's like you said, service.
Yeah.
In her case, it's one of these things where the training program for the ACPs isn't very well defined, but I was able to like almost impose the training that I've received so far as a surgical trainee, and knowing that some of the steps were quite clearly defined, and almost being able to transfer that experience to what she was doing and say, these are the types of evidence that I've shown in my like training or logbook. Oh, why don't you aim to show, these steps? So it's just like a knowledge exchange, and it's mutually beneficial. It's mutually confidence building, actually.
It's like mentoring as well, when you know that your knowledge can help someone else. So definitely, well done you.
Thank you.
Did it make you feel like, from the coaching perspective, a mentoring perspective, that you have value to give to others?
Yes, it is fulfilling, and it does feel like it's an advancement even in my leadership and mentoring skills, which they're just continually growing. So it's a good experience. Great. So I'm wondering, with lots of the clients that you've talked about so far, they all seem to have such different goals that they might be working on, potentially with their service-based businesses or otherwise. But how do you help them define what success might mean for them?
I like that. I like this question.
How do you measure it?
So, and again, I think for me, it's very individual. So first, that's why I like, at the minute, I don't have a group coaching, I have one-to-one coaching. And in the sessions, I'm very individual with the person, because what's a success to you might not be to me, and what is to me might not be to someone else. So first, I think it needs to be said that it needs to be very specific to the person. And then, yes, to have a clear idea of what they want to do and what they want to achieve. And again, it can be either very tangible or not so tangible. So for example, I had clients when they came to me and they said, oh, I just want to be confident in speaking, or I want to be confident at the job interview. So it's something that you think, okay, out of the book, it's not very tangible, but then you can break it down. So you can define then how does that going to make look for you. So when you imagine your confident self sitting in the job interview, what is that makes you feel confident? How you will show up as confident self? Maybe it might be also you can put the tangible result when you say, oh, if I'm going to get the job that I'm going for, or when I'm going to feel energized after a public speaking event, so you can, even if it is not a tangible thing, you can define for that particular person. So for me, for example, success is when I have the freedom of choice, when I can choose how I'm spending my time, that I can spend my time with my family, that I can spend time with my clients, and it's on my terms. So I choose when I am coaching, and I choose when I'm spending time with my family, when we are traveling, and I don't have to feel guilty asking for a holiday day or asking to nip out earlier from my job to pick up my daughter. So for me, that's a success. And obviously then you have the tangible side, which is the financial success and maybe like financial freedom for some people. So it depends on every person where they are in their journey. I would say so.
Oh, I love that. I love that you've broken down the different problems that people might be looking at working with, and you're bringing a very personalized individual approach. You mentioned almost giving them an activity or asking them a question that almost provokes them to visualize what does that moment mean for them, because then they can attach the feeling to it, and they can be looking out for that as their journey goes forward. For example, the feeling of feeling energized or feeling proud after that public speaking moment. So I love that you've helped people to have that positive visualization exercise, and then also identify both intangible and tangible results that can help them to see those milestones and know that they're moving forward.
Yeah, and it might be, sometimes it is, I think with goals especially, a lot of people think, oh, it just needs to be either a money goal or a house or a car or a trip or something like that. But for myself as well, I remember it was just that peace that I want to have, or joy or happiness, where I don't have to stress about, oh my gosh, just in case I feel sick and I don't have sick days at work, things like that. When it doesn't need to be the tangible result.
It doesn't need to be stuff.
Something it might
that
as well
other
be,
people recognize.
And you can have both. But what I'm saying, a lot of people are scared to define their goals or go after something because they think, well, but I have a house and I have a car and I'm going on holiday, so there is nothing really I want. But then when you ask them, are you happy? They're like, well, not really.
Yeah, it's there's still something missing.
Yeah.
This is what you're working with people on, which I love.
Yeah, because I had one client, and we started to work together exactly on confidence because she wanted to improve the speaking. And session by session, it actually turned out that what she was also craving is more purposefulness in her life, to be more in charge of what she does, not to be on autopilot. Like we spoke about going to 9 to 5 job where you turn up and you're like, yep, at 9 o'clock I have meeting, and at 12 o'clock I have lunch, and then I have another meeting. And to kind of take that away and be like, okay, what do I want in my life? What do I want my life to look like and my day to look like?
Yeah,
so
I love that. It really does help to focus the mind, and it really does help to create that shift from where you are right now to in small steps towards the goal that you want in future, because and it also can't all happen at once. So it's helpful to just see the big picture and then start to break it down.
It's the practice and persistence. It's just do it.
Exactly. So I just wanted to now just think about some of the things that can hold people back, because a lot of people have big dreams. And like you said earlier, you've worked with people who might tell you, oh, I've been thinking about doing this for 2-3 years. What are those limiting beliefs that might hold people back?
I think one of the most popular ones, I'm guilty of that as well. I'm not enough. And
I'm not enough. Wow.
And you can just
self-esteem.
And you can just fill in the blank. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not knowledgeable enough. I don't have enough resources. And I think that's why, again, the individual approach is, it depends on a person. So for some, it might be, I don't think I'm smart enough, or, oh, I need 5 qualifications before I can do that, and it's something similar like you did with your podcast. The fact that I don't have a name is not going to stop me. I
haven't chosen a name, I said. So I was I still need to start. Exactly.
At the same time, you could have been like, oh, I'm not good enough to think of a name, so I'm not going to do it. So again, it's that self-doubt that comes. I think self-doubt is number one topic that comes up with people, at least in my experience. I have even worked with clients who have the strategy, they have the blueprint, they know exactly step by step what to do, but they can't execute because
of this self-belief, this limiting self-belief.
Or some people are scared to fail. Some people
I recognize that one.
Some people are scared of success, because if you have been operating in autopilot for so long, you don't know how success looks to you. So we go back to the previous question, is like, okay, so define success for you. So you have to know where you're going. But if the person don't know how that looks for them,
or they're actually scared of what that change would be and what it would mean, then they might almost be like self-sabotaging.
100%.
And because the idea of succeeding is so scary and uncomfortable to them. So
or unknown.
It's the unknown.
And so it is, what if I don't have enough time? For example, I'm working online, and I have worked with people who also are service-based people for online businesses. And they're like, oh, what if I don't have time? But then when you check your screen time, you have enough time. You use that time. It's how you use that time online, right? So definitely I'm not good enough. Certain variation. I don't have time. Scared, fear is a big one. Like I said, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, or what other people are going to think of me.
And that can definitely play out. I've recognized that in myself, and it can definitely play out even on social media. It's like the time it will take me to think about posting something, I'm like, what will people think?
Now I'm in same boat.
It doesn't matter.
And it's I think a while ago I found like a quote. It says, other people won't pay your bills, so why should their opinion matter to you when you are trying to build your business? And it is paying your bills.
So true.
And but it's still, we know that, but we still have that resistance, and we are still scared of that rejection, and we are still scared of, what if so-and-so has it better, or this and that person. We just compare, don't we? I like to compare it with when we wear sunglasses and they might be scratched or with dirt, and the limiting beliefs are that scratches and dirt on the glasses, because if we are looking to life and to ourselves and to other people and environment around through the glasses, and it is scratched,
it's covered, it's covered,
it's distorting the image that you actually see. So taking off the glasses and cleaning is the same as getting rid of those limiting beliefs and cleaning your mind and your mindset of, okay, I want to see clearly. And if you actually challenge your limiting belief, you will find that it's not a failure. You're just going to learn another way, maybe how it didn't work out. It's, again, that mindset shift that needs to happen.
I totally hear you on that. It is also one of the things I found so beneficial about when I've worked with coaches as well, or even just shared my, you know, the limiting beliefs I might have with a family or friend. And you get the response and the exchange of sharing that, of vocalizing it, helps you become more objective and actually recognize, oh, wait, the way I'm thinking about myself or the way I'm thinking about this problem is not, it doesn't, it's either not very nice, or it's like you're being harsh to yourself.
Yes.
Or you recognize either way you're being hypercritical, or you're somehow limiting yourself. And
yes, you're catastrophizing the scenarios.
Sharing it with a coach, sharing it with a friend, it helps you just like recognize.
100%. Because I think what I also found, and with myself as well, is when you think something, you think it's true. Well, it not necessarily is. And we as humans, we have like thousands and thousands. Some scientists even say it's like up to 80,000 thoughts a day.
It's random things. It doesn't mean they're all true.
Exactly. And it is so many, majority of those thoughts are automatic, that are repeating day to day. And to just stop and realize, oh, is it actually what I'm thinking? Is it true? And a lot of times it's not true. You are comparing, you are criticizing, you are catastrophizing. Because the brain tries to protect you, right? So when you create those scenarios in your head and you try to protect yourself.
You're thinking, oh my God, it's going to be terrible. And it's just not true.
You probably, and probably everyone who listens has a situation where you were apprehensive to do it, and then you did it and you're like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad.
As bad as I thought. I know.
Exactly, because we anticipate.
I hear you.
Worse than it is.
True. So I would just love to just round up by asking whether you have any wisdom that you might want to share with someone that's listening who maybe doesn't feel successful right now, or they don't feel like they've maybe they've struggled with or recently dealt with some disappointment. What you say to them, help them reframe that either disappointment or failure.
So I would say to use that as an information, because again, we are, at least I am, I can speak from my experience. I am programmed to think that, good thoughts are good and bad thoughts are bad, or good feelings are good and bad feelings are bad. But that's not necessarily that. If you are in a position now in your life where there is a disappointment, or you thought it's a failure, or you don't feel as successful, it's not bad to feel that. It's a signal that there is something that you can do better, different, you can pivot, you can find in that situation something that you don't like. Again, a lot of people that come to me when I ask them, what is it that you like? Or what is it that you want? They don't know. Or when you ask people, what is it would you like? A lot of times they're gonna start to say what they don't like.
I've noticed that as well.
So to be in a position where you think, I don't like something, whether that is the feeling, whether that is a disappointment, like, oh, I didn't got that interview, or I didn't land that client, or I didn't hit so many likes, or something like that. It's then information. It's like, okay, how can I make any of events in my situation that I don't like now into something that's going to make me feel better, that's going to make me feel that I'm moving forward, that's going to make me feel that I'm going towards the success. again, define what success
is first, yeah.
But use that as an information. Don't think that it is bad to feel disappointment. Don't feel that it is bad to feel that you're not succeeding at the minute, or especially, like I said, with comparing. We can fall into that trap very, very easily. But I think if you look at very, very successful people, none of them got there without disappointment, without challenges, without what we class as failures or events that didn't go as they wanted to. That's part of the journey. It's what you do with that. It depends on the outcome. So I would suggest people to use that as an information, because that gives you clues of, okay, I don't like this. When you say something, I don't like this, it means there is something that you would like instead. So try to focus your I don't like to what it is that I would like. And then try to focus your energy on.
So it's not almost just like things that you are running away from, or the things that you're fearful of or dislike that you are consuming your thoughts with. You're actually just turning your attention to the things that you actually want to move towards. Other things you want to leave behind.
And it's just that slight refocus is of like, I'm in this position and everything is going bad, and there is probably something that is going good, but it's also when something is going bad, you're like, okay, but I would like this, and like this is where I'm going to focus. Oh, I know I can do this. So
yes, so true. Thank you. And so where can listeners find you?
Oh, I'm online. So I'm online. The best place where to find me probably is Instagram, which is Rai Berga, at Rai Berga, and it's me. So come and find me.
Yeah, you have quite a unique name. So I'll definitely put the link under this YouTube video.
Brilliant.
Or the promo.
And I also have a website, which is again raiberga.com. So it is just my name and surname, but it's me, and come and say hi and message me.
Cool. And any closing tips just for staying mentally strong and focused on your goals?
Oh, that's a good question as well. So I would like to say it in an analogy again,
love your analogies, like the operating
like stories. I like to compare our journey as a road trip, right? So when we decide to go for a trip or as a journey, like I mentioned, we decide first where we want to go. So be very clear on where you want to go, because if you're going to get into the car and put on your navigation and you can't put in the postcode, where are you going? Right? So first is definitely be very clear on your goals and on your direction, where you want to go and destination. The next thing is, I would say, to break it down into the smaller chunks. So for example, if we are talking about the road trip, you need money for the petrol, and you will need a postcode, and you will need food for the road, and you will need to pack your car and everything. So break down everything into smaller chunks that you need to do. Take care of yourself.
I love that, self-care.
And that is something that was reminded to me as well from my coaches. And we forget that, especially when we are in a busy lives and things like that. Take care of yourself, because again, if you're the driver in a car going on a road trip, and you haven't had your sleep, or you didn't rest before, or you didn't have food, and you can't be alert by the wheel, it's not going to be good.
It's so true. And I know that. So I do quite a bit of like long distance driving, and so I completely know what you mean. You have to like look after yourself, make sure you slept, make sure you hit your brakes.
Yes.
You have water, fluids, and that you can pay attention for that distance of time, or know your limitations, and you can stop. You know that you need to stop if you need to. So I love that analogy. That's really good, because your health is foundational to whatever you're trying to create, whatever goals you're trying to achieve. You need to have the energy to drive through.
The energy and the health and focus, 100%. Then the next thing would be stay resilient as well, because again, if you're on a journey, like you said, you might get tired, you know you need to have a stop. There might be a traffic jam, you know you need to take it slower, and kind of have that ability to bounce back from those challenges.
Yeah.
Like we spoke in the previous question as well, if you are ready and in your mindset where you think, okay, even if there's a traffic jam, you give yourself enough time, or if you feel tired, you're going to go into the next services. Just be resilient and take those challenges, not as a failure, but try to
be adaptable.
Yes, and try to be adaptable, and try to also focus on the solution rather than sit there and like, oh my gosh, it's a traffic jam, I'm not going to go anywhere. It's not going to help you, right? Because you're still going to be sat there and it's something out of your control. You can't control how long it's going to be. So it's best to just like, okay, we're in a traffic jam. There's nothing I can do about it. What can we do? Can we play a game? Can we listen to music? Can we listen to podcasts? Just try to work on solutions. Even if you need to ring someone and say, I'm going to be late, again, try to think of the solutions. And then next one is surround yourself with supportive people and take care of your environment. Again, if you go on a road trip, who you want in your car? You don't want someone that you're stuck in a car.
It's going to drag down your energy.
Yes, for 4 or 5 hours where you're like, I can't stand them, they're bad for my energy. No, you want someone who will be there to support you, there to tell you jokes when you try to fall asleep, or someone who's going to put the music on, or who's going to read a map if navigation breaks down. You want someone who's going to support you. So it is important who is around you. And then stay positive. Just stay positive and visualize where you're going, have the clear vision of what you want to do there, what are your plans when you get there, and just enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. I love that. So I'll just summarize by saying, like, you need to orientate yourself on the solutions rather than the problems.
100%.
Look after yourself and, just enjoy the journey. I think that's just like, that bit that underpins it all, because it will probably be some ups and downs and twists and turns, but
and with everything. And even if we go back to the question when you said when someone is in a position where they felt disappointed, or when they feel stuck or not successful, again, if you focus on solutions, you're gonna have completely different energy and outcome than if you're gonna
someone that focuses on the failure or the problems. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this interview, and I feel like I learned a lot as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.